So,
Mm.
hail and well met. This is the winter solstice edition of the Magical Human Show with myself, Claire Ottewell, in the Oily Witch, based in England, and
June Tranmer Wellbeing, currently in Thailand,
which
sitting outdoors on the veranda in 25 something degrees. I think it's 25. I don't know. Yeah. Ooh.
it just looks amazing, June. I mean, it's sunny down here, which it has been horrendous weather for the last couple of days, which you probably have no
Mm.
idea of. But
I
tell
have
us,
heard lots of rain, eh?
yeah, loads of rain, and there, I all I'm sensing when I look at you is just peace.
Yeah. 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 I've
So
been
tell
here
us about this.
two whole days. I got here two evenings ago, and yeah, sleep's been disrupted, but of course there's a three-eye atlas and the solar flares, so not surprising. But yeah, it's interesting. It is very peaceful around here. It's so lovely.
And can you see the sky clearly?
Yeah, oh yeah, the sky's beautiful. There still are the white lines. Can't get away from those buggers, can you?
Well, that's
Not that
really
many, but I've seen a couple already. The sunset was gorgeous. I'll send you a picture later.
Yeah, please do. I'm always happy for that. And
Yeah.
you've just mentioned Three Eye Atlas, which I know or understand it to be going the closest to Earth today than it's ever gone
Yes.
thus far in its
Well,
journey.
yes, this is it. It's on its way out of our orbits of all of our planets and our solar system. Um, it's come hurtling in. It's going a ridiculous speed, 150 million miles an hour or something. I mean, it just like it's beyond ridiculous. And it's also hundreds of thousands of kilometers away. So there's no way we're going to see it unless we have a telescope. But I can really feel it.
I can too, and I feel like it's a really positive thing. And I was looking at somebody's briefly, someone else's feed that was showing pictures of what NASA said it looked like, which was just this tiny thing. And then the amateur person had this like multicolored kind of, loads of detail shot of this kind of energy going around. And it feels to me, well, it's just really positive. It's like bringing
Mhm.
in the new, and there's nothing that can be done to stop this new because the planets are telling us we're having a new. So it's like,
Well, it's come in from somewhere on a mission for sure. It has got some kind of consciousness, but you see, this is what Heather Ensworth was talking about. Somebody was talking about this the other day about how we, to our own loss, do not understand the to and fro of energy between us and planets and talking about Mercury. Oh, Mercury's retrograde and blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, Mercury might have feelings about that. And we ought to be kinder to Mercury about that.
oh, okay. I mean, I obviously, as an astrologer, love the planets, take my direction from the planets, think they're so wise. But of course, why wouldn't they just be pure energy? And why
And
wouldn't they?
consciousness and just like water. I mean,
Sentient.
we've come to understand, we talked about water having feelings when we were chuntering about the rain. Let's come on, let's just embrace them all, whatever it is they're doing.
Oh, I love that, June.
Mm.
Oh, it's just stretched my understanding. I love it when that happens. It's like, oh, there's room for more in there. That's just brilliant.
There sure is.
And this kind of, so we've got this happening today, and I don't think it's by fault. I think it's by design. Then we have the new
Mm.
moon tomorrow in silver birch, and silver birch is always the first tree to colonize a forest. So it's the clearing, and birch is the clearing wood. It's cleansing, deeply cleansing. And we think of a
Yeah.
silver birch tree, we think of Lady of the Woods, the moon. That's who she's ruled by. It's that kind of, and the moon is mental health. So it's like clearing the mind. We've gone through the water period. We're now in the winter period, which is ruled by Earth. And so everything is going to sleep, everything is bedding down, everything is calming, gentle, feminine. Water is also feminine, but it's a moving feminine. This is a steady feminine energy. And then we have the rebirth of the sun on Sunday. And that's because he's got to his furthest point in his journey. And then he starts to come back towards us. Thank God for that. And that feels really, oh, it always feels massively important to me, but feel, and that's in Capricorn in the father energy. So that's in this kind of, and the new moon is in the Sagittarian energy. So you've got this kind of expansive new moon of your mind connection. And then you've got the father son, like pull yourself into your power, be gentle, rest over these 12 days, be with your family, your loved ones, exactly what you're doing. And
Mm.
then, we go onwards from the 6th of January where we come, well, that feasting period ends and we go a bit antisocial again until the 1st of
The
Feb,
in-betweens, I call it, the in-betweens.
which I love. And,
I do too, yeah.
people keep saying, oh, like somebody came to one of my circles and she was like, oh, I really want to reset. I want a physical reset, January, January. In fact, I saw somebody else yesterday who I know who sits in my circle and they were like, oh, January, I'm going to do all this stuff. And I'm like, no. Do not do anything in January other than just continue to rest. Start to be mindful of diet and drinking and excesses, tailoring off, but no massive exercise, please, or anything like that. Your blood is still too thick. Your body is coming out of that necessary rest period. It needs that. And so just please save all that till February, March time before you start cracking it up, crapping your whip at the gym.
Well, speaking of cracking whips, which is what people do to horses, which we don't like. However, February 17th is the fire horse coming in. That's the perfect time for new beginnings because it is in the wood energy time in terms of the five elements, but it is a fire energy animal this year coming up. And really interesting, not Heather, no, it was Pam pointed out that this new moon being in Sagittarius right now, it's all about joy and making sure we do adventurous, joy fulfilling things. What did I just do? Some crazy nonsense coming well, to the other end of the earth. Now, interesting thing is, we're in the equatorial area. They don't have long nights and short days, or vice versa. It's the same all year round. So I asked Heather Ensworth in one of her comments what she would say about that. I'd love to. Hopefully she'll pick that up because she does read her messages in her posts in
Oh, so
her.
you can
So
tell us about that. That would be
if
amazing.
she ever does, but I'm still pondering it myself because they've got to have something that demarcates the changes. And I've lived in equatorial countries before. Um, and it's always the same. I mean, it's the same temperature year round. Sun goes up, comes down, same time. Moves slightly because the Earth's tilting a bit, but it's usually 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That's it. Equal, 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 equal. So is that why it's generally on that energetic level, barring, the other disturbances that human beings do to things? It's more of a peaceful kind of area.
Well, it's probably more joyful because as people don't have the opportunity to go into the shadow, because the opportunities that are available to us with this kind of, as you say, changing seasons allows us to go to journey more easily in tandem with the weather and what's going on around us. I think it's easier to access, I've found this actually, it's easier to access your spiritual processes when the weather comes with you or the planets come with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas when you're in those places, people are a lot more peaceful because their lives are a lot more just balanced. They're
Steady,
more, as
steady.
you said,
Yeah.
equatorial equilibrium. There's just more balance, whereas we're getting woof, woof. So our souls were like, I think accelerated learning program would be don't live in an equatorial place, live in a place that's on one end of the polarity to really appreciate the difference. Possibly. That's
True.
just come into my head now. Could be a load of oh bollocks.
Well, it's a wide generalization, and I think probably there are quite plenty of people who live in this band around the middle of the earth that are not having a great time and
Oh, and who
struggling
are
with all
deeply
sorts of stuff
spiritual. Yeah.
and who are deeply spiritual. So, it is possible that all these things are happening all over the world right now anyway because of these changes that we're all going through, hastened by this
Yeah.
Atlas, no comet, non-comet thing. Did you hear it turned from red to green to gold?
Oh, I didn't know it'd gone to gold, but it doesn't surprise me. But what I just want to say is while
Mm,
you're out there, can you meditate on this? Because what we've just been
I will.
discussing, because I think it's super interesting and you've got the chance to get like the gen on the fl like go to when you go around and I guess when you go to temples and stuff, go and ask them.
We are going to a temple soon. There's
Well,
one very near the beach. I'm going to go to the beach. We're going to go and climb the hill to the temple because there are lots of temples around. We had a tour on the way from the airport. My daughter has this guy who they use for driving them here and there, and he's a tour guide as well. And he was just so informative, teaching me about Thai history and culture and Buddhism and just so it was 3 hours. So he pretty much talked nonstop. I stayed awake. I slept on the plane. It was quite peaceful on the plane. And do you know what else is really interesting? This whole feeling of that atlas and this time bringing in more compassion and
mm,
whatnot.
mm.
I met the nicest people on the way here. Security people at Gatwick Airport were so human and so lovely. And they put me through the stupid machine, and I'm still suffering the consequences. I've done myself a little treatment, and I've done these guys a little treatment. I haven't tackled the cats yet, but the cats are getting used to me, so we'll get there. But I had magnets on my wrist to stay trying to keep myself calm because I was getting a weeny bit agitated about all the different stages I was going through to get here and what could go wrong at each of those stages. Nothing went wrong, absolutely nothing. It was smooth, 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 smooth. And then I got to Gatwick and I said it beeped in the thing. And I said, "Oh, I've got magnets on." "Oh, have you? What's that all about?" "Oh, it's sort of like acupuncture without the needles." "Oh, is that really good for stress?" "Yes, that's why I put them on." "Oh," they said, "we could really do with that." They were just so human. And it wasn't packed. It was really gentle. It
But
was
I
lovely.
think that that's because you're meant to be there. So there was
Mm,
smooth runnings, but also because you're like you are, you're inviting that mirror back from the universe
I
because
believe
as we
so.
are, we bring it to us. So I
Yeah,
think that's a reflection of what a good
yeah.
space you're in.
It is really. It is. Although I'm feeling a little bit bloated and puffy and stuff from all the, dehydration
Things.
in the plane. I tried to drink water and stuff like that, but yeah, it's and strange food that I was eating on the plane because I felt I needed to. I needed something. But yeah, it's just been so lovely. So yeah, two and a half more weeks to go. Yeah.
You
We'll
look
be here
so
for three,
blissed
for
out.
2 weeks.
You deserve it. You need it, you deserve it, and you're recharged. Now, the other thing I want to talk about
Mm.
is the fly agaric mushroom,
Oh
Amanita
yeah.
muscara, because I don't know, when I was last doing a ceremony, the full elder moon, then I suddenly, over that time period, in fact, a few weeks preceding that, I've suddenly just had it coming up in my consciousness a lot. Now, it's a mushroom I've always been attracted to, lots of fairy tales when I was little, always think it's one of the most beautiful mushrooms available in the forest or wherever, well, generally in the forest. They grow around birch trees. That's what they favor.
Well,
So you
yes, you
need
see, this is very highly appropriate, isn't it?
exactly. And so
Mm.
I'm going to include them in my circle, my ceremony for solstice tomorrow, and cover the history of them and the fact that they go right back in time, and which you wouldn't be surprised about, really. And they are regarded as a representation of the rebirth of the sun because of the color of them and the red, the white, the kind of purification, the journey, etc. And they were used by shamans who would, when the sun goes through the winter solstice, it's supposed to stand stationary for about 3 days. So during that time, the ancestors saw this as a magical gateway for new beginnings, a portal. So they would take the fly agaric, the Amanita muscara, as a medicine to allow them to travel through that gate, that solar gate, to gather wisdom for the coming year for their community. And so this story, I look like I've slowed down. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but
Yeah, there
anyway,
is a bit of, well,
that,
there's going to be interference. It's about 11 o'clock tonight,
well,
I
here
think, our time, in another four
is just,
hours.
it's obviously just past 12, but I feel that it's, anyway, it's probably
It's
related because
getting
I'm
its
not supposed to
closest
share
point
this.
right now. Mm.
But they did that, and that story then morphed into the story of Father Christmas and Santa Claus coming back with the presents. The gifts were the wisdom that they brought back through the portal, the new beginning, the kind of what they could share with their community. And
Mm.
Santa Claus is supposed to be a representation of the kind of the journeyed shadow of them going through the portal.
Yeah.
And the red and white, the reason he wears red and white is not because of Coca-Cola, but because of the
Ah,
Amanita mascara.
yeah.
And so there's this whole thing, and like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, it's about the journey through the skies to the other side. It's like everything has this meaning that in modern day world has been turned into this commercial kind of fairy story, which is not a good fairy story. It's like like a, it's not, it's a Disney fairy story because it's not, if it was the Grimm brothers, it would have a bit of kind of, spice about it and a bit of wisdom. But it wouldn't be all about just making you trying to feel good and disconnect you from the world around you. But yes, and then Amanita mascara was regarded, is been made oh, what is it called? Illegal to use because it allows and facilitates this
Yep.
journeying. And
Yeah.
I'm going to do a whole
Expands your consciousness.
thing on
Same
this
with
with
other
somebody, an
mushrooms, though.
expert.
I heard that other mushrooms were
They
being
have
banned
been.
as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Turkey tail, which also grows, I think, on no birch polypore. Turkey tails might also grow on birch as well.
No,
But
I think they don't. They're too big. They grow on bigger trunks.
they're all different
Silver
sizes.
birch,
Turkey tails are
silver birch
little.
is, well, they could do. Yeah, I suppose they could do. Yeah.
Um,
I was thinking of
but
them
they
as
can get
skinny.
big, but they're the frilly, beautiful ones. But yeah,
Mm.
turkey tail, and I can't remember the other one, but absolutely
Cordyceps. Cordyceps.
fucking mental. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
like
yeah. It
the
is.
mushroom kingdom is our medicine. It is nature's medicine. It's the
How,
only thing that
how,
possibly can clear.
yeah. How are they going to actually judge this and enforce it? Because
Well,
people can just go out into the woods and pick them. Come
exactly.
on.
And so basically, that is the light side to this, June, is the fact
Mm.
that people will have to recover their foraging skills and their kind of peddler skills. Peddler
Yeah.
means healer. So they'll have to
And
recover those.
be careful, because you can pick the wrong mushrooms and make yourself terribly sick. But if you're doing your own research, and which everybody should be doing, you didn't have to be going buying them from fancy online shops that make them into capsules. Go on, just go and do it yourself. And now what's going to happen?
Yeah,
We're
well,
going to
this
be
is
in
it. But
trouble
like
for this, aren't
anything,
we?
I was saying into my work Christmas party last night, I was talking about this and they said, oh, but is it, poisonous and everything? And I said, look, everything in large quantities is actually has a level of toxicity and poison around it. It's about knowledge and careful, informed use. And that's what we're saying.
Yes.
Um, but I think I just wanted to draw that parallel. And with that, I wanted to say that I'm not a psychonaut. That's these people that love taking
Oh, is that what they're
alternatives.
called? Right. I've
Yeah.
never
They,
done it. No.
yeah, they like to take substances and go on journeys. It's particularly, and I get it, popular with men because they find it harder to journey than women because we go through so many cycles of change in a month that, for us, journeying and getting into our emotions is not that difficult. But anyway, and that's not all men. And again, take
No.
this, apply a bit of common sense, people, before you choose to get offended. Anyway, what I would say is that our ability as human beings and divine creations, that co-combination, is actually all you need to be able to dial into the spirit of the fly agaric mushroom. You don't actually even need to take it. If you can believe enough that you understand the medicine, and as I said, I will do an interview. I'm going to do an interview with somebody that's a bit more of an expert than I am on it and talk about, the benefits of it. Then that's all you need because your body will, it's that we're all energy. It's like
Yep.
you'll get the
Yep.
benefits and you can actually do anything you want um,
Yeah.
if you believe it and if you put things into practice. So,
Yep.
hmm.
Yep. I found a whole bunch of notes in my phone on my journey here because I was busy whiling away the time when I was waiting for things or traveling on trains to get to the airport. And I'm just wondering, did we talk last year about St. Lucia or Santa Lucia
Well,
or
then,
however you want
no,
to say it?
I don't know.
Um, because St. Lucia Day in Sweden, which I have a connection to, as you know, um, generally it used to fall on solstice, on the winter solstice, but they moved it into the 13th, the 13th of December. And it's all to do with bringing back the light. So it is something that is still held, and they do it in places like the Minster, York Minster. They do a festival with candles,
Well, you've got
procession.
Christingle service, which is a candle stuck in an orange, which is a return of the light. It's the sun, it's like there
Mm-hmm.
is a recognition. People just need to take the rebirth of the sun literally
Mm-hmm.
one step further and swap the O for a U.
Mm. Well, apparently, a little bit of factual information. St. Lucia of Syracuse died 304, presume it was AD, I'm not sure, is the patron saint of light and sight, often depicted carrying her eyeballs on a plate. Yes,
Fire, third eye.
Saint Lucia is also the patron saint of electricians. So is that why they call them Sparkies? Well, call them
Yes.
Sparkies because they spark things,
And they
but
have
yeah,
vision, which is fire,
yeah,
gives vision,
yeah, yeah.
the light to
No,
see.
I thought that was very interesting.
I do think that's very interesting also. And there's, I think, ceremonies all over the world celebrating this, well, in the Northern Hemisphere, return to light. In the Southern Hemisphere, obviously, it's the reverse.
Mm.
And this recognition of the sun as being something worth worshipping. So
Mm.
it's so invaluable to our very
We could not
existence.
live without it.
It's as
Mm-mm.
clear as that. I can
Yep.
hear the eruption of my children. So hang on one
Oh, is
sec.
it
Hang on, I'm just going to pause this.
okay?
Sorry about that, everyone.
So,
So, yes, the light, the return to the light.
and not to get too excited by the fire horse just yet, because we've got 2 more months of the snake. What's happened?
No, I'm listening to you. I was just looking because one of my friends said, "Oh, there's been other massive planetary movement." And as an astrologer, I'm pretty much on top of it. And I was thinking, I'm pretty sure there hasn't. The only thing that has happened is Mars is in Capricorn. So energy is in this earthing, in this grounding. Anyway, as you were saying, we've got 2 more months of
Two
snake.
more months still of the snake. So let's not get carried away. Again, like this whole January thing, let's go do stuff. No, 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 no. Wait, because we're still in the reflective shedding. Is there anything else left that I need to get rid of? And then we'll be able to go ahead with creativity and energy and excitement. But, horses don't gallop the whole time. They do stop and rest and chew the grass.
And with that snake stuff, Jupiter continuing to be retrograde in Cancer indicates that the shedding is around the ancestral line and the family stories and the family
Yes.
identities and the family promises you made as a youngster that you no longer need to keep. You don't need to be that person anymore. So most of this shedding is around that, which is possibly helpful or not helpful to say at this time of year we're supposed to get together with your family, but if your family
Yeah.
sees you, that's great. If your family doesn't see you and is actually not very good for your self-esteem, then have some consideration over that. Shed that skin until they're prepared to see you as who you truly are, because we're
Yeah,
all
and
allowed to
take them in
change.
small doses, right? I believe we said this last year. Just if you find certain members of your family difficult, absent yourselves from their immediate environment. Just take them in small doses. Even if you have to be in the same building as them or the same room as them, just make sure you manage it carefully.
And
Yeah,
use
and a
spray.
spray. Mhm. And your
Homeopathy,
infinity
figure of eight.
infinity wave malarkey. And also, I just looking at this solarium app. It's
I know,
stellarium.
Stellarium is amazing.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Looking at where Three Eye Atlas is, it's going right next to Leo, which is the
Which is
heart.
ruled by the sun.
Yes,
So this is
yes,
why I just know. And Leo rules the heart, so it's heart opening, it's solar, it's activating, it's a portal, it's open your
yeah,
heart, compassion,
yeah,
forgiveness, dropping old storylines, move
yeah,
on. And I take
yeah.
a pinch of that myself.
Yes, absolutely right. We have three Leos in our family. One of them is here. The other two are going to Sweden with their Sagittarius daughter. Ha! They are going to have such a joyful time.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure
Yeah,
they will.
yeah.
Blessed be. Well,
Mm,
we will be back in when the date, I'm not going to say it's the new year because it is the different year. The calendar
yes,
2026. We'll be back around then because we
yeah.
have, well, maybe we'll be back on the second because we have the full birch moon on the third.
I'll
So
still be here.
she'll still be there. So this will be
And it
another
might be
quarter.
daylight. No, it won't be daylight. What
It
am I
won't,
talking
but
about?
you might have more intel about kind of
Right.
the spiritual differences, how they
Mm,
demark the kind of
yeah.
flow of the changes, etc., which will be really interesting.
Yeah, it will be interesting.
You'll be even more chilled than you feel already, and you feel very
Oh,
relaxed and at
yeah,
home.
yeah, I'm coming down a few notches at a time. Yeah,
You'll
still
be
sleeping
like
4 hours at a time and then waking up and doing stuff and then going back to sleep like a cat.
like a cat, or like the old days when they used to do that to follow the sun. They went down at sunset, slept for a few hours, got up in the middle of the night, got on with a few things, and went down again until dawn. So could
Yep.
just be so in connection with the natural world, June, that you're just a reflection of it. And modern day life is just a thing of the past for you.
Oh,
This
I'd
is
like to
actually
think.
true.
I'd like to think. So yeah, so we'll see you in a couple of weeks and have a blessed ceremony tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to be gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
And
I'm looking forward to it. I always look forward to my work.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank
Yeah,
you.
we're doing our own little things. I'm getting a little barbecue for these guys so we can have a bit of a fire pit. We can't dig one in the ground. I don't think is the landlord wouldn't like it, but we're gonna find something to burn
To
bits
burn,
in.
to burn.
Gotta have a fire.
You have
Got
to
to
have
have a fire.
fire. All right. Well, lots of love,
Yeah.
everyone. Be well.
Mm.